Hey podcaster, meet Acast. We're the top independent podcast network for creators in the know. We empower you to develop your podcast idea, find your audience, and grow listener relationships wherever those listeners are. You'll also find a whole range of ways to make money, from membership plans for paying fans to our fully curated and creative advertising experience. Visit acast.com/network to find out more. Acast, for the stories.
Hello, this is Let's Talk About Myths, baby. And I am here on a random Saturday with, that's right, just a straight up trailer for the audiobook of my upcoming book, Greek Mythology, The Gods, Goddesses, and Heroes Handbook. Frankly, I meant to put this audio clip into an episode of the podcast, but I forgot and it got too late, so you get a specialized trailer. Here is the section on, yes, Circe from my audiobook. So please, if you like it and you love an audiobook or just want more of my voice, God, how could you not? That's sarcasm a little bit. Please go to wherever you get your audiobooks and pick up a copy. That is Greek Mythology, The Gods, Goddesses, and Heroes Handbook by me, Liv Albert. Circe was a goddess of magic, herself a witch. You may know her from the Madeline Miller novel named for her, Circe. She was the daughter of the Titan Helios and the nymph Perseus, the sister of Aeetes and Pasiphae, yes, the same Pasiphae, and, through her brother Aeetes, aunt of yet another witch, Medea. Circe lived on the mysterious island of Aiaia with nymphs as companions and lions and wolves as her pets. When Odysseus and his men landed on Circe's island, she sought to defend herself against the strange men who had arrived without warning. A group of the men went in search of the island's inhabitants and came across Circe's palace. She made a show of welcoming them inside and offered them food and drink. But once they were full, she used her magic and transformed them all into pigs, which she shut away in a pen. She then went about her life on the island, not realizing that one of the men had stayed outside her palace and witnessed it all. Eurylochus, the man who escaped Circe, ran back to Odysseus and the men and told them what had happened at the witch's palace. Hearing this, Odysseus and the men, except Eurylochus, he was too scared and stayed by the ships, went to the palace to free the men from Circe. En route, however, Odysseus was stopped by the god Hermes, who told him how to avoid Circe's magic and gave him an herb that would prevent it from being used on him. When the men arrived at the palace, Circe welcomed them just as she had before. She gave the men food and drink and then moved to transform them just as she had their shipmates. Much to Circe's surprise and annoyance, her magic didn't work on Odysseus. Instead, he came at her with his sword and she fell to her knees, knowing immediately who he was. She'd been told by the same god who helped Odysseus, Hermes, that a brave man by that name would come to her island on his way from Troy. She suggested he ditch his sword and go to bed with her. Convinced she was going to free his men eventually, Odysseus agreed. He'd been away from home so long. After they slept together and Odysseus had a nice, relaxing bath, Circe did indeed transform Odysseus's men back into men and let them live freely on her island. Odysseus and his men stayed there for some time, with Odysseus developing a relationship with Circe before she helped them continue on their journey home to Ithaca.
Did you know this podcast is powered by Acast? Acast is the home of podcasting. For creators looking for freedom to grow their listeners and make money too. And creative brands looking for smart ways to advertise. Podcasters and advertisers in the know Acast. It's time you did too. Visit acast.com to find out more. Acast, for the stories.